We videoed opening the box with the book in, so we do have some footage of that, and it's a very weird experience. I'll be honest. It was relief and pride, great pride, and I was proud before I got the book in my hand. To be honest, I'm proud of the fact I did it. I would never have had the ability to start the process without your input. I wouldn't know where to start. I've tried before, to be fair. I tried a few years ago writing on the old topic of women in the workplace and how you transition between a working woman and a mother and a wife. I didn't even have a structure. I didn't even start with a chapter heading. I didn't even really... I had a bit of a working title. But the process that you set out enabled me to get started, and I found it very simple to follow a good structure. So working on a killer title was really key. Had a few challenges with the title. Sensitivities, you have to be very conscious of that, and as a complete newbie I didn't even understand the sensitivities, so crafting a title is crucial. Crafting the structure, I think, probably for me was the most satisfying part of it, and having the brief that you've done your structure, stick to your structure, do not go outside your brief, focus, here's your timeline, do that, then you do this, then you do that. Having that clear structure and knowing what I wanted to say in all of those chapter headings was crucial, and it made the difference between starting with a blank sheet of paper and faffing about for years and doing nothing to actually creating the first text, using some voice transcribing mechanisms, which helped, but crafting that first text in a matter of weeks or months was a phenomenal piece to get done. And once you've got that under your belt, you can then start the more complex, more thorny, more painful process of editing. You start with a data dump. You get all your ideas, a bit like brainstorming, into that first manuscript, and then you have to be careful about that's not good enough, it's out, and making sure it goes out. You keep the best stuff, you try and keep the story straight. What was also very helpful in the process for me from the input that you provided was the flow and the connections between particular facts. It's not just enough to put a fact and a piece of data down that might wow me, but to the reader it's why is she saying that? So making those connections and links through the book is a skill that I've learned. I think I will take that into my daily life. I'm sure it will improve my life as a consultant. It will improve my communication skills, asking the why question. Well, why is that important? And making sure that the readership has that link. So those were some of the really important bits that I found I wouldn't have been able to start without all of that. I really valued that help. It's made a huge difference for somebody who knows what they're doing to actually review the work that you've written and put it into a more comprehensive, a suitable method for print and publication. There were lots of sleepless nights, not because I was lying awake worrying about it, because I was actually up working on it. So be prepared if you're planning to write your own book. There's going to have to be some of that. Once you're in the zone, once you're in the flow, you've just got to keep it on. You can't do it chapter by chapter. You've got to think about the book, the story, the whole. And it's very, very easy, especially when you've got 10 versions of chapter 2. Well, which chapter is the latest chapter? And have I taken that link out of there that I've referenced in a later chapter that I've now decided I don't like? The process is really very complex, and to get some proper help with that was invaluable. I think the other piece that is completely beyond me is, well, what's an ISBN number? Where do I get one of those from? How do I find a printer that's going to be reliable? I don't understand book sizes and page layouts. I wouldn't have known where to start. And book design is a whole career on its own. So I don't have any of those skills. Getting it on Amazon, I'm sure I could have found out if I tried hard enough. But actually to have somebody do that for you and to see your own page up there with your book, your space earmarked for you, it makes you believe it's possible. Because there were moments when I was sure this is not possible. There were moments when I decided I wanted to crawl back under my stone and hide my book and my thoughts with me. Some of that, I think, is confidence. Some of it is a woman's confidence issues. Do we have anything to say that's worthwhile? And having somebody there to encourage and to praise made a big difference. And now, of course, the big test is it goes out on sale soon, and preview copies are now going out for review. So that critical affirmation, that vulnerability that I'm now feeling is intense. I am Mrs. Butterflies at the moment. That's the reality of the last few weeks, not just the last few days, that's the last few weeks. But I hope it's worth it in the end. It's a strong message, the book. I so believe in the message. Last night I was at yoga, my yoga group, with lots of ladies of my age, and two of us were talking about what a stressful day we'd had at work. And the yoga teacher said, you two just need to give up work. You just need to retire. Listen to the pair of you. You're in the right class at least. And I said, well, actually, Lucy, I've written a book on this subject, and it's been printed today. I've got the first copies today. And everybody was in the class was quite surprised. They didn't know I was writing the book. I kept it quiet. But I said, ladies, all 12 of you in the room, if you think you can early retire and give up this stress at work and just forget about it, think again. Because when you get to that chapter in the book, you realise, A, I'm living longer. B, somebody's got to fund it. C, my health is so important to me. And there wasn't really an acceptance at that point in the room that it was a problem for them. So there's a lot of denial around there. And my mission now, I know, after last night's yoga group and trying to just explain to a few of the class that this is a big problem for us, living longer. You've got to work your way up to it. Now I know that there's a campaign out there to change the minds and hearts of all these women. That's my mission. That's what I want the book to do. That's what the book can do. I have to now help it achieve that mission.
So book 2 is women.
Book 2 is my hindsight book. I want to write it when I'm 110.
Well, okay.
And I look back on all of this and say, told you so.